Eddie Howe hopeful striker will remain at Newcastle, but admits his future is uncertain. Eddie Howe is hopeful Alexander Isak will remain at the club, but has admitted the striker's future is uncertain. Isak has informed the club he wants to explore his options. Liverpool have shown an interest in Isak, but have also signed forward Hugo Ekitike for £79 million this summer. Newcastle boss Eddie Howe hopes Alexander Isak will stay at the club, but has admitted his future at St James Park is uncertain. Isak has informed Newcastle that he wants to explore his options this summer and is not part of the Magpies squad for their preseason tour of Singapore. While he is also managing a minor thigh injury, there has not been an official or formal transfer request to date. And while there have been conversations about a new contract at Newcastle in the last few months, at this stage, nothing has been agreed. The Sweden international has 3 years remaining on his contract at the club, who have put a £150 million valuation on the forward's head. Liverpool are thought to still admire Isak, despite signing Hugo Ekitike. He is now in Newcastle, getting his injury assessed. Hopefully he will be back soon and playing in the black and white shirt. That's what we want to see. Howe said in his press conference ahead of the preseason friendly against Arsenal on Sunday afternoon. Of course there are things going on behind the scenes. Conversations that happen between Alex and ourselves, and Alex and the club, will stay private. He is very popular in the dressing room and would love him to continue his journey at Newcastle. There are no contract talks taking place. That will be for a later date, potentially. I certainly hope he stays. It's football. Who knows what the future will bring? How Isak's situation is not a distraction. Howe was then questioned about whether Isak's situation is disrupting the preseason preparations for his side, who play 5 friendlies before facing Aston Villa in their season opener on August 16th, with the Newcastle boss insisting the saga was not a distraction. I don't think we are distracted. We are here and we are focused, he continued. I have experienced it many times. I've sold players throughout my managerial career. There is a wider picture. There is a football club that has to make the decision. Whatever happens has to be right for Newcastle. We are in a strong position financially and are determined to be successful. I wouldn't put a time scale on it. It has to be right for the football club, and they will make the right decision with all the information they have. It's up to us to make good decisions the other way and to improve the squad, regardless of Alex's situation. We want stability and the group to have a really good feeling. How? We need reinforcements, but the window is challenging. While Isak's future bubbles away behind the scenes, Newcastle are actively searching for further reinforcements to bolster Howe's squad for the 2025-26 season. However, the 47-year-old has commented on how challenging the market currently is due to prices skyrocketing and the limited pool of players. The Magpies secured the £55 million signing of Anthony Elanga from Nottingham Forest earlier in the window, but have since missed out on Ekitike to Liverpool, with goalkeeper target James Trafford also looking set to join Manchester City. The window is challenging for us. We have multiple players that we are looking at across multiple positions. Howe said in his press conference ahead of the preseason friendly against Arsenal in Singapore on Sunday. Other clubs will say the same. It is a challenging window as prices are going up and the pool of players is smaller. We are actively in the market. We are looking. We need to do business and need to bring players in. With all the games we will have, we need the options and depth. It's a totally different campaign in the Champions League. I hope we can bring players in, and not just players, but ones that can make a difference. We won't stop until the window shuts. Newcastle are set to move on to other targets, with a deal for Brentford striker Yoan Wissa currently looking unlikely. Newcastle have been told to significantly up their offer or walk away from the transfer, much to the frustration of Wissa and his representatives, who've made it clear he only wants to join them. Eddie Howe's side had a bid of £25 million turned down and were willing to up their offer. Wissa feels he may not get the chance to play Champions League football again. Newcastle were lining up Wissa to be second choice to RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko if Alexander Isak was to leave the club. Brentford boss Keith Andrews said on Friday night that Wissa will return to training with the squad next week. He has gone back to London. It was his decision, obviously because of speculation. Andrews told the official Brentford media team after his first game in charge of the Bees against Gil Vicente ended in a 1-1 draw. There are clubs interested and he felt it was the right thing to go back to London. It's simple, really. He folds back into the group next week when we come back to training. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Tottenham reach agreement for West Ham's Mohamed Kudus. Hello everyone, my name is Jack. I'm here to deliver every update on football news. Like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section. Tottenham Hotspur have reached an agreement for Mohamed Kudus from West Ham United for a fee of around £55 million, $74.7 million. A medical is scheduled to take place on Thursday ahead of Kudus signing a 6-year contract at the North London club. The Athletic reported on July 5 that Tottenham had made a £50 million offer for the 24-year-old, which was turned down as talks continued. The Ghana international is prioritizing a move to Spurs if he leaves West Ham, and personal terms are not expected to be an issue. Kudu's contract runs until 2028 and has a buyout clause that is only active for the first 10 days of July. Valued at £80 million, $108 million for teams on the continent, 85 meters for those in the Premier League, and £120 million for those in Saudi Arabia. Kudu's registered 5 goals and 4 assists in 35 Premier League games for West Ham last season, his second after joining for €41.5 million from Ajax in the summer of 2023. That output was slightly down on that from his debut league campaign in England, when he managed 8 goals and 9 assists. Tottenham have been keen to add forward options to their squad, as well as securing a permanent deal for Mathys Tel, who spent the second half of last season on loan from Bayern Munich. Tel, 20, has signed a 6-year contract after moving for a fee worth up to €45 million. Spurs have shown interest in Bryan Mbeumo, in a move that would reunite the Cameroonian with his former head coach at Brentford, Thomas Frank. But Mbeumo, 25, has informed the North London side that he wishes to join Manchester United, who are working to complete a deal after seeing 2 bids turned down. A significant coup for Spurs. Analysis from Tottenham correspondent Jay Harris. Spurs have spent the first few weeks of the transfer window trying to sign a right winger. However, Bryan Mbeumo has made it clear he wants to join Manchester United, and Antoine Semenyo signed a new long-term contract with Bournemouth. Kudus might not have been their first-choice target, but he is still a significant coup for new head coach Thomas Frank. Frank loves players who are positionally versatile. Kudus has spent the majority of his time with West Ham United on the right wing, but he operates as a number 10 for Ghana. Frank could use the 24-year-old as a threat, cutting inside onto his stronger left foot, or as a powerful and dynamic dribbler in tight central areas. Tottenham's squad struggled to cope with the demands of the Premier League and the Europa League last season, so it was crucial that they boosted their numbers this summer. Mathys Tel arrived permanently after spending the second half of last season on loan from Bayern Munich, but he only turned 20 in April and is still raw. Kudus has a lot of room for growth, but is far more experienced and proven. It will be interesting to see how Kudus' arrival impacts Brennan Johnson and Dejan Kulusevski. Johnson was Tottenham's top scorer in all competitions last season, and he scored the winning goal in the Europa League final. Johnson primarily plays on the right, and Frank tried to sign him when he was in charge of Brentford. Will Kudus replace Johnson as the first-choice right winger, or will he take over Kulusevski's playmaking responsibilities in the middle of the pitch? Spurs have a lot of attacking talent at their disposal, and it will be fascinating to see how Frank will effectively combine them. Tottenham have agreed a £55 million fee with West Ham to sign midfielder Mohamed Kudus. The Ghana international is now set to have a medical before signing a long-term contract. BBC Sport reported on Saturday that the Hammers had rejected an initial £50 million, but a deal has now been clinched. Kudus, who has an £85 million release clause, joined West Ham in a £38 million deal from Ajax in 2023. He has made 65 Premier League appearances for the club, scoring 13 goals and providing 9 assists. At least 6 top clubs have inquired about Kudus in recent weeks, but well-placed sources told BBC Sport the 24-year-old had prioritized a move to Spurs. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.